Guys, Lord Entertainer Fabian is finally ours on the account. I've built him out. I've been using him in live arena, and he is an absolute beast. So you really want to make sure you've got the best build for this guy. So without further ado, I'm going to be showing you the best build for Lord Entertainer Fabian, his masteries, and everywhere we can use him in the game, guys, because he has actually made a lot of progress for me in this game as well. Hold up! Click the link in the description below right now to get a free legendary champion, Bambus 4-leaf, as well as one amazing free epic as you level up. Here are the exact steps you need to follow. 1. Log out of Plarium Play on your PC. If you've never had Raid installed on your mobile phone before, the link will work there too. 2. Click the link in the description and start a brand new Raid Shadow Legends account with a brand new email. 3. Launch Raid and complete your tutorial. 4. You can find Bambus 4-leaf here as well as Ugo at level 15. This is an amazing account start in Raid Shadow Legends, so be sure to use my link in the description below right now. All right, so let's get into it. What does he do? Why is this champion so good? We're also going to discuss some relic ideas here in a second. On the A3, attacks all enemies before attacking, has a 75% chance, books to 100% chance of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 3 turns. That is a polymorph-proof buff strip, guys. Has a 75% chance, books to 100% chance of increasing the cooldowns of all enemy skills by 3 turns. So, guys, this is a lockout champion. It's not like Alice, who has a 2-turn cooldown, which is effectively a 1-turn cooldown. He has a 3-turn lockout, which is effectively a 2-turn lockout. Some of the best in the game, guys. I believe it's the same as like Crixia and Yumiko, right? Grants an extra turn if there are no buffs on the enemy team after the attack. All right, so he's going to buff strip everybody, lock everybody out, then give himself an extra turn. He goes into this A2, which attacks one enemy, places a petrification debuff for 1 turn, has a 75% chance, books to 100% chance of placing True Fear for 2 turns on all other enemies who are not under Fear or True Fear. And then he has a passive effect on this skill as well. Activates the skill whenever an enemy under Fear or True Fear successfully uses a skill. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. So he goes in and there's a mythical under Fear. That mythical metamorphs. He goes in and immediately petrifies them with this skill off the passive effect. Guys, this is absolutely insane. And it hits pretty hard as well, so we can get some damage out as well. On the A1, attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit steals 10% of the target's turn meter, places a True Fear debuff for 2 turns if the target's turn meter is fully depleted. Guys, stealing 10% turn meter, he's just going to make himself go faster every single time he uses this A1. All right, then on the passive, Ghost with the most. Whenever an enemy is revived, places True Fear on that enemy for 2 turns. If there are multiple champions on the team with the skill, this effect will only activate once. So any of those reviver teams, you now no longer have to worry about them because they will come back under Fear. And then removes any stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, fear, true fear, petrification debuffs from this champion before the start of their turn. He's Armand's proof, right? He is Armand's proof. So what does this guy need? This guy needs a ton of speed and a ton of accuracy because he is a arena champion, guys. So what do we have? We have him in a impulse set, which gives him 12% speed and 12% chance to reduce a random skill cooldown by 1 turn. Since he's getting all the extra turns off of this A3, which is on a 4-turn cooldown, a little bit of impulse means he can cycle his kit a little bit faster. He's in a speed set for an extra 12% speed. He's in Perception for an extra 40 accuracy and 5% speed. And then the Pinpoint set, 3 pieces of Pinpoint in the accessories, give him 20 accuracy, 10% speed, and another 20 accuracy. Guys, what are his stats? He's coming in pretty squishy here. 35k HP, 1.8k defense. But he is a go first champion, so we're not really too concerned about giving him a bunch of survivability. 300 speed, 3 speed there. That's without glyphs. So a lot of these pieces aren't glyphed, or they're not glyphed very well. Again, that's without a attack percentage ascension on the boots there, and without a, well, we've got a okay-ish speed roll here on the banner, but again, no glyphs. So 303 speed definitely can and will be improved, and then 378 accuracy. Trying to get to 400 accuracy I think would be good. We can still glyph for accuracy, so we can definitely hit 400 accuracy. You want that accuracy and that speed to be as high as possible. Those are his 2 most important stats. All right. So then his active masteries, we came down and I never really picked the defense tree for anyone, but I think he's kind of perfect for it. We don't need War Master since we're using him in primarily PvP content. So we took Eagle Eye for an extra 50 accuracy, right? Of course, we go in with pinpoint accuracy to get that extra 10 accuracy. But we took some resistance here on the Defiant. We took improved parry to decrease the damage received by this champion by 8% when he's hit with a crit. Give him a little extra survivability there. We took Wisdom of Battle, 30% chance of placing block debuffs on the champion for 1 turn whenever Stun, Sleep, Fear, True Fear, Freeze, Petrification expire on this champion. I'm not sure that works with his passive, but just in case it does, it is a little nice boost there. We took Resurgent, 50% chance to remove a random debuff from this champion when they lose 25% of their max HP or more from a single enemy skill. Again, we don't have to worry about the crowd control debuffs off the passive, but if there's any sort of like drop defense or anything like that, Resurgent will go ahead and take care of those pesky debuffs for us. Harvest Despair, 60% chance of placing a leech debuff for 1 turn when placing Stun, Sleep, Fear, True Fear, Freeze, or Petrification. Guys, this is kind of the perfect mastery for him because he places Fear on his A1, he places Fear on his A2, he places Petrification on his A2, and he places Fear on his passive. So he's just going to keep the entire enemy team always under leech. It's very good. Then we took the counterattack masteries. We took Deterrence, 20% chance to counterattack an enemy when they apply a hard crowd control, Stun, Sleep, Fear, True Fear, Freeze, Petrification, or Sheep to an ally on a 1-turn cooldown. So again, stealing turn meter, boosting his own turn meter, all that kind of stuff. And then also he will fear that champion because they will have no turn meter because they just took a turn. All right. Retribution here, 50% chance to counterattack when this champion loses 25% of their max HP or more from a single enemy skill. Again, putting out more True Fears, which means more leeches, more healing, more crowd control, all the rest. Support tree, right? Pinpoint accuracy, we already mentioned that. We took the accuracy increasing masteries, increases accuracy by 20 when this champion has no skills on cooldown on the charge focus. We took the Swarm Smiter, increases accuracy by 4 for each enemy alive, stacks up to 16. We took Lore of Steel to increase the speed and accuracy we're getting from all those speed and accuracy sets, right? We took Evil Eye, decreases the target's turn meter when this champion hits them with the default skill for the first time, decreases the turn meter by 20% with single target skills and 5% with AoE skills, occurs once per target. So in addition to the 20% turn meter steal that he has on his A1, the first time he uses it in Arena, we're going to get actually like a 40% turn meter reduction, which is absolutely fantastic. So we took Evil Eye here. Not planning on using him in Bommel or anything, so it's okay. We took Master Hexer, and we don't really need Master Hexer because it won't extend the duration of the fears or the petrification, but we did need Eagle Eye for the extra 50 accuracy. It's either Master Hexer or Sniper. I guess you could do Sniper, but I don't think either one is particularly beneficial for him. It's just a bridge to pick up Eagle Eye. That's how we did his masteries. What kind of relic? Honestly, I would take the Wand of Submission. Wand of Submission for all the kind of arena champion. You can also, let's see, I'm wondering if the aspect of Siroth, where it receives fatal damage, reduces by 50% of their turn meter, fully reduces their turn meter on a 1-turn cooldown. I don't think that's very good. The Chrono Cube, you could probably do. I know it's a mythical, probably none of you have it, but whereas 50% chance to take 2 turns in a row, I think that goes to a 100% chance 2 turns in a row. If this effect activates where it skips the next turn, occurs only once per battle, you can go with that. Yeah, I think that probably maybe the Temporal Stagnator here, 20% chance to remove steal or convert buffs or increase a skill's cooldown when landing a weak hit. Temporal Stagnator would actually be fantastic on him because he is Spirit Affinity, and that's a pretty bad affinity for Arena. So I would honestly go with the Temporal Stagnator so that you can go ahead and get back to that lockout even faster than before. All right, guys. I said that this champion changed my account, and honestly, he did. He did for really one reason and one reason only, and that is Arena first and Faction Wars second. So I can now farm the boss in Faction Wars using Fabian. Before I couldn't because of the Valkyrie waves and everything. I had to manual it if I wanted to. But now I can farm the boss in Faction War, which means I can get the 6-star speed glyphs. Guys, I can get those 6-star speed glyphs. We're going to go ahead and show you exactly what he does because he's very good in wave-based content. Not quite as good as Armand's in my opinion, but he is still very good. He has a pseudo provoke, right? with that cooldown reduction skill. He is the fastest one on the team. There we go. He locks everybody out. That's what I like to see. Then everybody is crowd controlled. You can see the leeches are going to be there. They're the poisons, right? Calamitous is going to be our main damage dealer here. We really don't have to worry about anything as long as, well, he didn't use his final testament or whatever. But hey, you know what? It is what it is, I suppose. Steal the buff with Morrigan. That's what you like to see, right? Tribune Heraclides in a naked build so that once he dies, he can just keep up healing, right, on the entire team. There's the termination from the Calamitous. That's what we like to see, guys. Then Fabian's going to come in again and lock out the next wave, which means the Valkyries can't get their turn. Everybody's under petrification. Everybody is under fear. Oh, okay. So Master Hexer will extend the duration of the leeches that he places with Harvest Despair. So that is good to know, guys. That is very good to know. Quite good, I think. As far as an undead team goes, I mean, this is like super strong, right? This is super strong. You know, you can have your Sifi, you can have your whatever else, but you know, all I'm happy for is that I can finally farm this boss. I can finally farm this boss because of Lord Entertainer Fabian. We really like Fabian. He's great. He's awesome. He's even better than I expected, honestly. And the Masteries, I do think, are kind of required. Not to make him work necessarily, but to get the full understanding of how good this champion actually is. You need Masteries on him. I highly recommend using the Masteries that I use, but if you want a different set or different ideas, you can go to hellhades.com. I'm sure they have a set of Masteries for him as well. All right. So we've got some turn meter control. Man, the turn meter control A1s are so amazing, right? We've got Baudel there. Final Testament from Calamitous. Like, Calamitous is going to be doing most of the stuff here. Extra turn there. The Impulse set, putting in some work, as you guys can see. It's only a 12% chance, but I mean, that is a pretty decent chance as far as, you know, reducing skill cooldowns go. Yeah, so then he reduces the turn meter of the boss, which is super important, right? This boss does do some stun stuff. I think his A1, this is A1. Okay, his A1 is just pure damage. Okay, so, you know, we just want to get him killed pretty much as soon as possible. Yep, there's Heraclides. Heraclides is down, which is fine, because he's just gonna come in with everything. I did mention before, but I will mention it again. War Master does not work with Tribune Heraclides while he's dead. Still need to report that to Plarium. I haven't yet, but I will get back to you guys if it's actually a bug or if it's working as intended. All right, let's see. There we go. We've got more reducing turn meter, right? And now just the boss is absolutely screwed. Okay, so Lord Entertainer Fabian putting in the work here, putting in the work. All right, but where else is he so good? Guys, he is so good in Arena. We're gonna do a live Arena showcase for him tomorrow, but I figure that I can show you some of what he can do. This is a pretty simple team, but here we go. Let's see what exactly Fabian can do for the Arena, guys. Let us see, because he is an absolute monster. This is where he really shines. Like, he'll get you through Faction Wars fine, but this is where he really shines. All right, we've got the drop defense there. All right, here's the Spectral Flourish, right? I do find that he is relatively reliant on going first. Okay, so now Arbiter got a turn, which means he activates the Unwelcome Guest and does the Petrification again, and Thor just absolutely slams. He is reliant on going first, so you might want to consider a supersonic build for your Lord Entertainer Fabian, just in case you go second. The other thing you can do is run him with someone like the Queen of Hearts, who will cut in and strip buffs and everything else, so that you guys can get a turn. You could, you know, everybody could get feared, all the rest of that fun stuff. There we go. We got the lockout and everything like that. Like, dude, the guy is awesome. The guy is awesome. I think this is probably like the easiest team, or kind of team at least, to run him in, where you go first, he locks everybody out, and your nuker takes care of them. But of course, the lockout is just in case your nuker doesn't take care of them. I mean, that's what lockout is for, right? That's what all the crowd control is for. That's why we need it. That's why he's so good. You know, a lot of these live arena champions like this one are really tanky. Here's a nice tanky team for us to go against, right? I like Queen of Hearts. Nice, and there's a lot of resistance on this team as well. That is also something you like to see, right? Our Fabian died, but Alice was only able to use her A1. She wasn't able to nuke our whole team because Fabian locked her out. Very awesome, and we're just snagging wins left and right. Guys, my live arena win rate has gone up because I've been using Fabian. You know, if they first pick and they don't choose either Armand or Fabian, you can actually get both But guys, that is going to be tomorrow's video. Like I said, that's a pretty easy team. I want to choose a bit of a harder team here. Here we go. We've got a +2 Arbiter, a Mikage, a Wukong, and an Armons. If we go first, we probably win. If we don't go first, we're probably screwed. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's very good. I quite like my Lord Entertainer Fabian. But I think this is probably the last video or the last arena battle we need to do. Okay, we don't go first. And now that is a problem. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so there's Armons. Armons goes in. Yeah, so Armons is gonna wipe the team here, yeah. So we weren't fast. So he does need to be faster if you're not using any stone skin or anything like that. Or he needs to be in supersonic, right? I think those, like, if you're gonna use sets, those I think are the 2 best sets for him. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? How do you guys build your Lord Entertainer Fabian? You're free to share your comments and your thoughts in the comments below. Or you can join our Discord right there. Link is in the description below if you would like to show off your Fabian build or if you'd like help with your Fabian build. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I have been Felrus. We'll be back tomorrow for a Lord Entertainer Fabian live arena showcase. I'll see you in another video.